Hello everyone, it's Karina with Karina Loves to Plan. Thank you for joining me in my little corner of the internet where today we're going to be swatching some inks. I am so thankful to my friend CR who sent me a huge packet of inks, and this is just half of them. This friend of mine basically noticed that I'm starting to get interested in green inks again, so they sent me 26 green inks, and I'm going to be swatching 14 of them today. Let's get started. I will be swatching in my Hobonichi A5 notebook with 52 GSM Tomoe River paper, and I'll be doing my swatching with my Browse ornament nib in the 3mm, and this is just on a standard graph nib holder. And then I have my Kakimori stainless steel nib on my River City Penco nib holder. The first ink we are going to look at is the Atramentis Edgar Allan Poe. So let's take a look, and I haven't tried this one before, and I'm going to do my ink dipping off camera because I did a big spill. This is actually take 2 of this page because I did a big huge spill on the page and had to start over. Wow, that's a lovely deep green, lovely forest green. Now I'm gonna clean that nib off and get some on my Kakimori nib here. So this is the Atramentis, and this is Edgar Allan Poe. Lovely dark green, reminds me a little bit of Pilot Iroshizuku Shinryoku with how dark it is. I really like that. Diatramentis, oh my gosh, my words today. Diatramentis Edgar Allan Poe. Next I have Diatramentis Jane Austen, and this is the one I spilled on take 1 of this video. I don't know how or why I spilled so much, but it basically produced 2 big drops of ink on the page. Oh, I like this one. I don't know what it is about certain shades of green that I like over others. It's just, there's something about this one that's more like a spraying green, but a little bit more muted. And I can see that one is going to shade like beautifully, but also I think it reminds me a little bit of Colorverse Alpha Pisces. So it's Diatramentis Jane Austen. And I know the writing sample looks like it's a little bit dark, but it's because I think that there's a lot of ink on the nib. There we go. Oh, I love that. Beautiful. Next I have Noodler's Forest Green. I haven't tried a ton of Noodler's inks, just because I did try a few early on in my fountain pen journey and just wasn't really a fan of the brand. I feel like this ink is going to sheen a little bit, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, very saturated, that particular ink. When I cleaned my nib off, it was very saturated, even though I don't feel like I got a ton on my nib. Come on. Oh my god, I have to really get it in there. Okay. So this is Noodler's Forest Green. Might sheen a little bit, I don't know. But a lot of these, it's actually really cool that I'm going to do a whole bunch of greens on the page, because then I'll be able to compare what I really like and see if there's any of these that I have to purchase. So this is Noodler's Forest Green. Next we have number 1, and my friend actually included a huge list which I'm going to refer to off camera. This number 1 is Birmingham Penco Emerald Fusion. Ooh, now I should actually check if this has shimmer, and I don't think it does, but I'm just gonna Yeah, I'm just going to agitate it a bit just to see if anything comes up on that, but that just looks so dark. So I'm curious to see what this is going to look like. Ooh, that looks like it's going to be a sheener. Wow. I don't know if that is it. Yeah, it looks like, oh my gosh. And then the water itself, when you clean the nib, it's got a lot of highlighter green in the ink. So this is Birmingham. Oh, very dry on the nib. Birmingham Pen Co. Emerald Fusion. Very sheeny. Probably not my cup of tea, but wow, I can appreciate how beautiful that is. That is really lovely, but I think it would actually give me a headache. Unfortunately, that's Birmingham Pen Co. Emerald Fusion. Next on the list is number 7, which is Dominant Industry Savorite. And I'm always going to check to see if any of these need any, agitating. And checking my nib again. I had to change over the water because Birmingham Pen Co. just took over the water. Oh, this is more of a teal. This is lovely. Oh yeah, definitely more in the teal. I like that. Reminds me of a diamine ink, one of the mint inks, I think it's called, but I do enjoy that. This one is Dominant Industry Savorite. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but let me know. I really like that one. Oh, let's make sure I get that correct. Oh, lovely. So nice. Next one is number 10, which is Takeda Jimuki Kyono Oto Moegiro. That was a mouthful, and I'm thankful for CR including a legend, essentially, of all of these inks. Ooh, reminds me a little bit of Diamine Meadow or Pilot Iroshizuku Chin. Oh, hold on, Chiku Rin. It's a lovely light green, perfect for spring. That's lovely. So this is a long name. Hold on. So we got Takeda Jimuki Kyo no Oto, and this is Mo Giro. I really like that green. Lovely spring green. Gorgeous. Number 13, we have Monteverde Aeronite. And one of the things I'm forgetting here is to actually add the number next to it so I know which one is which. So this is number 13. Oh, I like that. Aeronite. It's amazing how many different shades of green there are, to the point where my friend could send me 26 different green inks. And so far, these are all looking so different. So this is Monteverde Aeronite. That's really lovely. Kind of like a leaning, a cooler green. Oh, that one's lovely. Oh, and I forgot to write the number again. I'm going to write the number here. This is 13. And I'm going to have to do that for the other ones when I remember. Next, this is number 15. This is Noodler's Green Marine. And this one looks quite dark. Oh, it looks a little murky as well. But that was just like from the initial putting the ink down on the paper. But I like that one actually. I don't know what it is. I guess there's just some greens that I like and other greens that I don't, and I won't know until I swatch it. This is Noodler's Green Marine. I'm going to write number 15 here. That is really pretty. But it makes me wonder, like, what is it going to be like when writing? Because if it's too dark, then it's going to be too close to black for me. But if it really does show up like that green in the swatch, then it's one that I would consider keeping. Noodler's Green Marine. Number 17, this is Pilot Iroshizuku. This is a 100th anniversary Fuku Roku Ju. I haven't seen this one, so I don't really have any expectations of many of these. Again, looks a little similar to Shinryoku, but a little lighter. Lovely. It's always interesting to see these when they first go down versus when they're dried. And of course I will show you all of these once they're dried. So this is Pilot Iroshizuku 100th anniversary. Oh, I'm peeking into the next one here. Fuku Roku-ju. Interesting. You always, I mean, you're going to have to ask yourself, like, how many different greens can they do? And you can already see on this page that these all look so different. So that's a Pilot Iroshizuku 100th anniversary Fuku Roku-ju. Next, we have an ink that I actually do already own. This is number 18, Pilot Iroshizuku Chiku Rin. I have a full bottle of this one and love this. Gorgeous green. It's a lovely, I think it's one of those inks that I think everyone should have because it's just such a pretty and one of those really consistent, great greens. It's great for spring, great for summer. And Pilot just do inks really well, especially if you're wanting to keep it simple and not go into, you know, too many crazy chromo shaders or things like that. Pilot just has wonderful, dependable, consistent inks. So that is Chiku Rin. Next, number 19. This is an ink that I actually already have as well. This is Pilot Iroshizuku Shinryoku. And I was saying there was some, oh gosh, I just got ink splatter all over myself. And I said earlier that this ink, there were a couple inks in here that reminded me of this, but now that I'm swatching it, definitely looks more teal or turquoise than I originally thought. Now that I'm swatching it, I feel like I really should use that ink more. I did spill half a bottle of it over a year and a half ago, and I haven't really used it since. My husband's been using it. But yeah, Shinryoku, I feel like this looks different to what I have, but it is a darker ink. So Shinryoku. Really pretty. I don't know why I haven't been using it. I think I'll definitely ink this up next month. Oh look, I got ink on my finger. Pilot Iroshizuku Shinryoku is one that I have, but I haven't been using, and now that I've swatched it again, I really should use it. Number 20 on the list, this is Pilot Iroshizuku Sui Gyoku. Now I know the numbers aren't really corresponding to how many I've swatched on this page, but this is the way that they're labeled in the legend that I've been provided. And I haven't tried Sui Gyoku. Oh, but I'm so glad to get a sample of it because I love that teal or turquoise. That's gorgeous. Another Pilot ink to add to my list of Pilot inks. So Pilot Iroshizuku Sui Gyoku. That's lovely. Whoop. There we go. Oh, I like that. And I definitely think I'm going to ink that up probably next month or the month after. And last but not least, we have Colorverse Pluto and Beyond. This one looks like it's one of those that look like, oh, hold on. Is this gonna, oh, it looks like it's more of a brown, yellow, green. Interesting. Ooh, this looks like it would be really good for fall, but also it almost reminds me of, what's a good one that it reminds me of? I cannot remember now. I feel like my recall for ink comparisons isn't great at the moment. Pluto and Beyond. I'm also coming back from 5 days in Mexico for a work retreat, and getting back to my pens and inks is definitely fun, but also I feel like I'm a little out of practice from filming. Just being away from it for a week and a half. Oh, I do like that. More of an olive green for sure, but very interesting. Colorverse Pluto and Beyond. So there are all of the inks dried, and that Emerald Fusion still looks wet with all of that sheen. But anyway, Diatramentis Edgar Allan Poe. I really like the look of that one, and I think that would go so well with my new Platinum Fuji Unki. Oh, yes. Yep, see, that pen would just match so well with that. So that could be a pairing for another month. And then we have Diatramentis Jane Austen. I really like the kind of grayish tones of that one. Just lovely. Noodler's Forest Green has a little bit of sheen to it, but I feel like it's too dark to the point where it's almost black, that it's not necessarily one that I'm a fan of. And then Birmingham Penco Emerald Fusion. Yes, I can see how beautiful that is, but the sheen is just going to give me a headache, unfortunately. Then we have Dominant Industry Savorite. I really like that one. Again, reminds me a little bit of one of those Diamine Mint inks. Very pretty. And Takeda Jimuki Kyonooto Mogiro. Lovely. I thought it was going to be really similar to Chikurin, but if I bring Chikurin into the screen here, Chikurin you can see is definitely darker, whereas this is lighter. And then in terms of the writing sample, it feels like Mogiro is a little bit more saturated green. This looks like it's a little bit more yellow in terms of the green. And then we'll take a look at Monteverde Aeronite. I really like that one. I didn't know that, or I didn't think that I would like that one as much, but I really like the softer tones of that. And then Ludler's Green Marine. Pretty, but I feel like again it's leaning almost too dark to be noticeable as a green ink. Then you have Pilot Iroshizuku, the 100th anniversary Fukurokuju. I like that one. I think it definitely, you can see some sheening happening here, but not enough to make me get completely turned off by it. And then again, Chikurin, one of my favorites and one of the inks that I think everyone should own if you want a lovely, consistent green ink, but that's also easily accessible and still around, regularly sold everywhere. And then we have Pilot Iroshizuku Shinryoku, one that I already have in my collection, but I haven't used as much. And now seeing this and the way that it looks, I definitely need to ink that up in a pen. And Pilot Iroshizuku Sui Gyoku, a little bit more teal or blue, but I really like that. And then Twisby Emerald Green. It looks more teal on this paper, but when I swatched it on Rhodia. It first went down more green, but then it dried a little bit more teal. And then lastly, Colorverse Pluto and Beyond looks similar to Pilot Iroshizuku Inahode, that it's got more of that olive green brown tone to it rather than green like everything else on this page. One thing I have to say about all of these inks is that these are 14 green inks, and they all look so different to me, and that still amazes me. There are another 12 inks still from this haul from my very, very generous friend, and I will do that in a separate ink haul because this was a lot, and this took a little bit of my time here, so I'll do the next one on a different weekend. But that is it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know down below. Otherwise, let me know what your favorite is out of these greens here. Thanks again, and have yourselves a great day.